Alrighty, well hello and welcome to another video. My name is Doug Mount. You have entered into my little workshop and I'm working this 1992 Bill Elliott number 11 Budweiser King of Beers, or Bud King of Beers. Let me get it right here. Mr. Isaac requested this. He actually sent me the car, he sent me the decals, and I am just putting it together for him. And so this is another set of decals that is a two-part set, right? Because you've got a relatively dark colored surface, and you've got white decals. And what's interesting, right? So first of all, Mr. Pato does not have these decals. Okay, he doesn't sell these number 11 decals. I'm sorry, he does sell number 11 decals, but they are not necessarily exactly the way that the car was driven on the racetrack. And so Mr. Isaac, I think, got the decals printed, these decals printed, and so I am going to build the car as best as I can given what Mr. Isaac's given me. And so yeah, I've got the first set on, and so far so good. One interesting thing, right, and this is just a challenge, right, whenever you're actually trying to build something like this, right, is you kind of have to, inevitably, you got to cut some corners somewhere, especially like on this side, right? So you have this large decal here, which is basically, let me grab this here. This is the way it came, right? And you know, it's got lettering back here, and you want to show the lettering, right? You want to show the number and the lettering. You want to try to get it centered and all, but inevitably you can see it's way too long on the front, and so I have to trim that off a little bit when I go to place this over top. But the other side is really where it kind of shows up a little worse, right? Because you can see the 11 is actually a little bit farther forward than I would like, but I'm already tucking here on this lettering here. So I didn't want to tuck way too much, so I kind of played that game where, all right, I'll tuck this much, and I think the 11 is close enough. You know, at least it's under the window here. It is slanted. But anyways, that's the trouble you get into, especially, I would say, some of these older body styles where it's just not a perfect fit. I mean, this one's actually not too bad, but some of the smaller cars from way back when in the 90s and even late 80s, the proportions are just out of whack. So anyways, this is what I've got, and this is where I'm at in the process. So getting some decals in the water here. It is super cold out, guys. I don't know where you are in the world, let's say, but it's super cold here. It got down into single digits last night, close to well, I shouldn't say close to it. It was super cold. Let's just say it was super cold last night, and today it's not going to get above freezing at all. So I am kind of delayed in really trying any outside painting. I've got a couple coats of clear sealer on this, and so I'm just going to wait till it gets a little bit warmer, and then I'll try to paint the second coat on this, because you know, it just doesn't make any sense to chance it when it's this cold. You know, if it's in the 40s, I'll get my box and I'll go outside and I'll paint it. But if it's in the low 30s, upper 20s, it doesn't make any sense to do that. So that's where I'm at with that car. I've got a couple trucks over here, or a truck here I'm going to do. This is a 2017 Chase Elliott Allegiant truck. It's kind of a light blue, decals from Pato, but via Mr. James, so appreciate that, James. I've got another Xfinity car I'm going to do, and I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do a build another Let's Go Brandon car just yet. I've got I've got some decals coming where I'll be able to use this. So I think this might be a Jeremy Clement car. So Mr. Tim, this is your 2015 Ryan Blaney that I'm working and getting ready to do some pre-painting on this. You can see I've already pre-painted some black, but I want to pre-paint some blue across the front here because the decal on the roof is just way too small. It's too much exposed. So I usually pre-paint a little blue on the front and then a little black on the back to kind of space it out, because this is, you can see here that 21 just comes up short on the front and on the back, and yeah, doesn't look that great with the decal set, but it is what it is. Also, the decal that goes across this front bumper here comes up short, so I pre-paint a little bit of the blue, same that I do on the roof here. It's not a perfect match, and that's just one of the struggles you get when the decal set just doesn't give you full coverage over the diecast body, and you kind of left to work some things that you'd rather not work, right? You kind of improvise and jerry rig some stuff, and yeah, so we'll do our best there. Yeah, so I've got a plethora of vehicles over here waiting for decals from Mr. Pato. You know, a couple trucks here. Actually, this is the decal set, the Michael Annette TMC. I can build that here. That's ready to go. Matthew, we emailed a little bit, and I just wanted to show you here on the video. These are the two different trucks that I'll build the Johnny Sauter for. So you can see the light gray and the silver. And right, so when the decals arrive, I'll build them, and then you can, feel free to just pick one, whichever one you like best, and that's the one you'll get, and then I'll just sell the other one to whomever else. But yeah, so far so good. The paint came out really well on the silver, and just as good on the light gray. So I've got a couple coats of clear sealer on that, and that is again just ready for decals. This is the Matt DiBenedetto for you, Tim, the Menards car that he drove. I think, is that a Charlotte? I can't remember. I got something on the tire here. It bothers me. Peel that off there. But yeah, so that's what we've got going on. Again, ready for the decals, and just kind of waiting them to come in from Mr. USPS. For whatever reason, well, maybe it's COVID, maybe it's the cold, snowy weather we've had here in Northern Virginia, but mail has been slow to arrive. It's just a trickle. So yeah. And then I've got this one. It's in the sealing stage. So Isaac, this is how the Kyle Busch 2009 Transformers turned out. I'm pretty happy with it. There's always something that I guess I see that's not what it should be like. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with it. I tried to do something here with the wings here to make it look better with the M&Ms there, instead of just putting it over the black side. And maybe I should have just left it black, but it is what it is at this point. I got some silver, and then I got some white, and I put the M&Ms across. But anyways, outside of that, I'm pretty happy with the car. The front turned out really well. It's really difficult to get these pieces to line up in here and to kind of lay smooth up against the backdrop that's in there with the splitter and the little makeshift sport bars that come down. But I got that piece in, got the cover for the splitter, a lot of micro sole, a lot of patience, just kind of working my fingers and using the actually I used a toothpick a little bit to press it in, and the little brush to get it to lay as flat as possible. Got the Wix logo in there and the Sunoco logo in there. And so, yep, it's dry, and now I'm just sealing stuff up. So the hood does open. It's a little, I think it's stuck right now. I'll pop it open later, but But yeah, all in all, I'm pretty happy with it. I think you will be too. And yeah, so once I get this Budweiser car done, then I'll be able to ship your cars out to you. So yeah, that's what we got going on, guys. Let's lay some more decals on this. And yeah. All right, so you can see here this on the back. Yeah, I can tell my water is cold just from the air temperature. So I'm a cheapie. I'm just cheap, right? I typically keep the air ducts closed here in the basement because I'm the only one down here. So it's probably mid 60s, maybe low 60s. I don't have a thermometer down here, but yeah, I get a little cold in the wintertime working here in the basement. So, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I'm sure there are plenty of other people that are worse off than me, so I cannot complain one iota. So, looks pretty good. You can see how that second layer does good. And the key, though, is trying to get it to lay perfectly over top of what's already there. It's kind of hard sometimes to even see if you're not covering it like you should. But I think that's pretty good. Okay. The Amico comes with a little white, and then you place the red, blue, and black logo over top. So I've already done that on a few places, and need to do that right here on the front. You can see there's the little decal that goes there, and then you put this over top. So let's do that here. Come on, like so. Here, I'm not doing very good here. Trying to get this on video here for you guys, so my apologies. Really hard to see this actually, and I've got my little reading glasses on to help magnify my vision. Come on. So it's really hard to see even with them on. A second 11 to go here. Nice. Looks pretty cool. All right, let's do the roof. See there. Yeah. It may be difficult to tell the difference on video, but there is a significant difference between layers here. Okay. Now this is the tricky part, right? Where am I? There it is, right there. Yeah. It was a little low. It's really, like I said, it's hard to see. Yeah, maybe you can tell a difference there pretty significantly on the camera. Yeah, I was looking at this earlier, see. So, you see, when I laid this decal on, I'm looking at the spacing from here to here, here to here, and it looked like I had it right, but I think it's a little off. You see the top of the D? It's a little close up here, and the B, it's this gap's a little further. So I think I'm a little crooked there, so I don't know, but it looks good down here. Ah, that's weird. That's weird. See if you guys can see when I overlay this. See the difference there, the double layer. Mm-hmm. Too much water there, it slides around. I want it to slide, but not so much. Okay. 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 Alrighty. Yeah, so the decal set, there's two decal sets that Mr. Isaac sent me. These. And then he sent me this other set. But you can see this other set has the blue outline, and that's not what he wanted, right? Because that's not really what was on the track. So, but I am going to use, like where it says Thunderbird, these Ford logos, I'm going to use those. And of course, these side and front fender decals. So I'll use these, but I'm not going to use the Budweiser blue outline decals. So, so that'll be coming next. But yeah, let's get some more in the water. I probably should have done this earlier here. Get this side in. Let's see, that was trimmed. I don't have to be too perfect because I just want to wrap it around. Yeah. Yeah, so I was able to show off my workshop to Mr. Bryce. It's my daughter's friend. And so, I should say our daughter's friend. I'll get bad about that. But yeah, so he was over and interested in seeing how I make some things, and showed him around. And it's funny. I could show this hobby to everybody, and I could show it for hours. I could be down here talking about all different cars that I make, and all different things that I've run into, people that I've run into. Yeah, so always fun. So Billy, you're not the only one anymore. There's a second person that has been down here and seen the operation. So yeah. Of course, I don't think he was down here for as long as you were. So okay, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I got the, you can see I got the window net there painted red. I painted it red. I really only have gloss red. And then I went over it with the dull coat once it dried. And so that doesn't look too bad. So it's got kind of a matte black finish to it. So, again, pretty happy with how that turned out. I think this lifts pretty quickly, these decals. Yeah, see that? Don't have to wait very long. Let me pull this down here a little bit like this. Probably should have done that earlier. It's just that when I get the camera angled down, it's a little harder for me to see over top of it as I kind of work this. That's funny. My wife and I were talking because I don't know. We just have this hankering for like comfort food, and I think it's the weather, right? I think in the cold weather, it just seems you have a greater desire for like pizza and donuts, and I've been on a hot chocolate kick. Of course, hot chocolate typically has a lot of sugar added, and it's just funny. It's just funny how the weather does that. We don't necessarily have those cravings as much in the summertime, but oh well. You guys do that or not? Come on. Yeah, so I think I've gained some weight this winter. Hope to lose it come spring. Not sooner, but it is what it is. Go through cycles. Okay, so before, when I was pulling this off, I was not pulling it off and then lifting it over to the car because I had trimmed it as such, right? So I kind of have to put it here and then pull it down like so, because it's just the decal is just so I won't say thin, but it is very foldable, so you kind of have to do it like that when you're working with these types of decals, because you try to pull it off and lift it, and it'll just curl over top of itself, and then you got, you know, a few minutes of trying to get it to even out, flatten out, and get back to where it's usable again. So some people will have like a little tissue paper, and we'll kind of like, you know, rub it across and kind of pick up some of that loose water. I've done that before. I mean, it works. So I don't know, I'm kind of used to using this brush. So okay. Probably going to run out of time here as I work this, but let's see. Let's see. I hate to rush. I like to just, I mean, you guys that have watched me for long enough, I mean, you guys see how long it takes me to do stuff, but yeah, I just kind of take my time and not rush a little bit. Okay. Yep, hope you guys are staying warm. Appreciate you following, doing these videos, and hope it's an encouragement to you, as I'm always trying to get people to consider making their own customs, you know, following what I do, and branching out on your own, making your own stuff. I think it's a terrific, enjoyable hobby. So give it a try. You know, ask questions, let me know how I can help, and be a blessing. Make some cool stuff, guys. All right, God bless, and hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will talk to you in the next video.